Once upon a time, in a land called Paromo, there was a handsome prince named Prince Davu. He was the son of the king and queen, and everyone loved him. Prince Davu grew up in the palace, surrounded by love and luxury. He had everything he could ever want, but he was not spoiled or selfish. Instead, he was kind and generous, always ready to help those in need. After finishing high school, Prince Davu decided to study abroad. He traveled far away to learn in a distant land. Years went by, and Prince Davu worked hard in his studies. He missed his family and his kingdom, but he knew he had to finish his education before coming back home. Finally, the day came for Prince Davu to return to Paromo. The palace was full of excitement as everyone prepared for his return. The maids cleaned and decorated the palace, and the cooks made a feast fit for a prince. The king and queen were very happy to see their son again, and the villagers eagerly waited for his arrival. As the sun set, the sound of drums and music filled the air. The villagers gathered in the town square, dancing and singing as they waited for the prince. When Prince Davu's car arrived, the crowd cheered loudly. The prince got out of the car and was greeted with hugs and laughter from his parents. "My son, you have returned," said the king, his eyes full of pride. "Yes, father, I have returned," said Prince Davu, his voice emotional. "I missed you all so much." The king spoke to the villagers, welcoming his son home and thanking them for their support. Then the prince stepped forward and spoke to the crowd himself. "Thank you all for such a warm welcome," he said, smiling at the faces before him. "I am happy to be home, and I promise to do everything I can to make our kingdom proud. I have returned as a graduate, and I have many ideas for how we can improve our village together." The villagers cheered and clapped, their hearts filled with joy at the prince's words. The celebration continued long into the night, with feasting and dancing lasting until the early hours of the morning. Once the festivities had ended, Prince Davu was escorted to his chambers in the palace. His mother, the queen, made sure he had everything he needed, fussing over him as she always did. "Are you hungry, my son?" she asked as she set a plate of delicious food before him. "Yes, mother, I am famished," replied the prince, eagerly digging into the meal. As he ate, his mother bathed him in warm water and brushed his hair, her touch gentle and loving. Prince Davu sighed contentedly, feeling grateful to be home with his family once again. And so, as the stars twinkled in the night sky, Prince Davu drifted off to sleep, dreaming of all the adventures that awaited him in his beloved kingdom of Paromo. The days after Prince Davu's return were filled with excitement and joy in the palace. People from all over the kingdom came to visit and greet the prince, and he welcomed them all with open arms. His friends from childhood gathered together to welcome their dear friend home, and Prince Davu was overjoyed to see them. "Welcome, my friends," he exclaimed, embracing each one of them. "I have missed you all so much." They spent hours chatting, laughing, and sharing memories of their time together. The prince told them stories of his studies abroad, and they listened with rapt attention, hanging on his every word. "It sounds like you had quite the adventure," remarked one of his friends, a twinkle in his eye. "Yes, indeed," replied the prince, smiling. "But there is nowhere I would rather be than here with all of you." The villagers marveled at the prince's kindness and generosity, and they were thrilled when he announced his plans to work at the local primary school for charity. "I will devote 1 year to training and teaching the children of our village for free," he declared, his voice filled with determination. The king and the village elders applauded the prince for his selflessness, and the villagers cheered in agreement. Sure, here's the rewritten paragraph in simpler wording while maintaining the original length. Prince Davoo started his work at Paromo Community Primary School with love and care. Every child in the village adored him and looked forward to school just to be around him. "Good morning, my little scholars," Prince Davoo greeted as the children entered the classroom. "Are we ready to learn?" "Yes, Prince Davoo," they cheered, their faces full of excitement. Prince Davoo's way of teaching was unique. He made learning fun and got to know each student personally. He encouraged them to dream big and believe in themselves, praising their efforts and achievements all the way. As weeks passed, Prince Davoo's students began to do very well in their studies. They worked hard and stayed determined, inspired by his constant support. Their parents were amazed at the change in their children and thanked Prince Davoo for his wonderful work. "Thank you, Prince Davoo, for everything you have done for our children," said one grateful parent with tears of joy. "You have truly changed their lives." Prince Davoo smiled humbly, his heart full of happiness. He knew he was in the right place, making a positive impact on the children of Paromo. Days passed with laughter, learning, and love as Prince Davoo continued to inspire and uplift everyone with kindness and compassion. As the sun set on another beautiful day in Paromo, Prince Davoo fell asleep, knowing he was making a difference in the world, one child at a time. Prince Davoo continued his teaching at Paromo Community Primary School, bringing joy to his students. They thrived under his guidance, excelling in their studies and growing more confident each day. The prince was proud of their progress and knew they were destined for greatness. One day, Prince Davoo had an idea. With the help of his father, the king, he organized a quiz competition for the graduating students of the primary school. The villagers gathered in the town square, eager to watch. The king and queen, along with the village elders, were there to support. The prince and the judges were ready, and the competition soon began. The students answered question after question, their faces filled with determination. They had studied hard and were resolved to do their best. At the end of the competition, 10 students were awarded scholarships to cover their secondary school education, while the rest received gifts for their hard work. But one student stood out above the rest. Her name was Amari, and she answered every question with ease, showcasing her intelligence and determination. For her exceptional performance, Amari was awarded a scholarship to study abroad until the end of university. The villagers rejoiced as they lifted Amari up, praising her brilliance. Her parents were overwhelmed with emotion, grateful for the opportunity given to their daughter. "Thank you, Your Highness," said Amari's father, tears of gratitude in his eyes. "You have given our daughter a chance for a better future." The prince smiled warmly, his heart swelling with pride. He knew that Amari would go on to achieve great things, and he was honored to have played a part in her journey. After the celebration, Prince Davoo returned home feeling fulfilled and content. His year at the school had come to an end, and he knew it was time to move on. But before he left, he made sure capable teachers were employed to continue his work. The students were sad to see him go, but Prince Davoo promised to visit them from time to time. They bid him farewell with tears in their eyes, knowing they would never forget the kindness and love he had shown them. And so, as Prince Davoo rode away from Paromo Community Primary School, his heart was full of gratitude. He had made a difference in the lives of the children in his village, and he knew his legacy would live on for generations to come. After Prince Davu finished teaching at Paromo Community Primary School, he decided to help manage his family's business and stay close to his father, the king, to learn more about ruling the kingdom. One day, the king summoned him and mentioned that it was time for him to find a wife. "Son, you are old enough to be married," the king said, looking at Prince Davu seriously. The prince nodded, understanding his father's point, but he asked for some time to find a woman himself. He wanted to make sure he found someone he truly loved and cared for. A few days later, the queen brought a princess from another kingdom for Prince Davu to consider as a potential wife. The prince was hesitant at first, but he agreed to meet her and give her a chance. However, as the princess moved into the palace and spent time with the prince, he noticed some troubling behavior. She smoked, drank, and acted erratically due to the drugs she took. The prince was concerned and shared his worries with his parents. "This is not the kind of woman I want to marry," he told them firmly. With their support, the prince broke off the engagement, realizing that the princess was not the right match for him. Soon after, the queen brought another girl from their village for the prince to consider. However, this girl cared more about money than the prince's well-being. She constantly asked for money, nagged him, and called him stingy. The prince grew tired of her behavior and ended the relationship. Several other potential matches came forward, but none of them seemed right for Prince Davu. He grew frustrated and decided to take matters into his own hands. "I will find a wife on my own," he declared to his parents, determined to find someone who truly loved him for who he was. And so Prince Davu set out on a journey to find his true love, hoping he would soon meet the woman of his dreams. Prince Davu made a bold decision to travel beyond Paromo. Disguised as a humble man, he ventured to the village of Amok. Upon his arrival, he sought out a modest house to stay in and began his new life in the village. Every day, Prince Davu visited the bustling Amok market to assist people with their loads and complete odd jobs in exchange for a small tip. Despite his royal background, he was determined to experience life as an ordinary person. It was there that he met Isha, a kind-hearted girl whose mother owned a small restaurant where market vendors and shoppers gathered to eat. Eshe often helped her mother, working hard to support their family. One day, Prince Davu visited Eshe's mother's restaurant, but realized he didn't have enough money to pay for his meal. Humbly, he approached Eshe and explained his situation. "Please, I don't have enough money to pay for a meal," Prince Davu said sincerely. Eshe felt compassion for the disguised prince and accepted the little money he had. The next day, she surprised Prince Davu in the market with food. "I brought you some food," Ishi said with a smile, handing him the meal. Touched by her kindness, Prince Davu thanked her profusely. He admired her hard work and resilience, and a bond started to form between them. "Thank you, Eshe. You are truly kind," Prince Davu gratefully expressed. Eshe smiled back at him. "You work so hard every day. You deserve it," she replied. As days passed, Prince Davu and Eshe grew closer, sharing stories and laughter in the market. Despite his disguise, Prince Davu found solace and happiness in the simplicity of his life. Their bond deepened as they spent countless hours together, sharing stories, dreams, and laughter. Before long, they realized they were in love. Sitting in a quiet field one day, Eshe turned to Prince Davu and asked about his past. "Where are you from?" she inquired, curious about his background. Prince Davu hesitated briefly before replying, "I am from the Paromo kingdom, but I have no family anymore. I came to Amok to start anew and make my own way." Eshe listened intently, her heart going out to him. She reached for his hand and squeezed it gently. "I will stand by you, Davu, no matter what," she assured him, her eyes brimming with love and compassion. Encouraged by her encouragement, Prince Davu gathered the courage to ask Isha why she loved him, despite his lack of wealth. Eshe warmly smiled at him and replied, "Money isn't everything, Davu. I love you for who you are, not for what you have. Together, we will work hard and build a future for ourselves." Prince Davu felt immense happiness at her words, realizing he had found his true soulmate. Their love flourished, and soon Eshe's mother learned of their relationship. She welcomed Prince Davu warmly, knowing he brought joy to her daughter's life. In Amok's market, they became known as Romeo and Juliet, admired for their deep love and devotion. Every day they met in their special field spot to talk, laugh, and dream of their future. One beautiful day, Prince Davu knelt and proposed to Eshe. "Will you marry me?" he asked eagerly. Eshe's eyes filled with tears of joy as she nodded. "Yes, Davu, yes!" she exclaimed, embracing him tightly. They held each other, hearts overflowing with love and happiness, knowing they were destined to be together forever. Despite doubts from some of Eshe's friends in Amok, their love continued to grow. Eshe remained steadfast in her love for Davu, confident he was the one for her. Then one day, Eshe arrived at the market but didn't find Davu. Panic gripped her as she rushed to his house only to learn he had left. Confused and heartbroken, Eshe sought comfort from her mother, tearfully revealing Davu had departed without her. Her mother hugged her, offering soothing words. "Be patient, my dear. Perhaps Davu will return for you." Eshe cried, prayed, and clung to hope that her beloved Davu would come back to her. Encouraged by her words, Prince Davu found the courage to ask Eshe why she loved him despite his lack of wealth. Eshe smiled warmly and replied, "Davu, money isn't everything. I love you for who you are, not what you have. Together, we will work hard and build our future." Davu's heart swelled with happiness, knowing he had found his true soulmate. Their love flourished, and soon Eshe's mother learned of their relationship. She welcomed Prince Davu warmly, seeing how happy he made her daughter. In Amok's market, they became known as a couple admired for their deep love. Every day they met in their special spot to talk, laugh, and dream of their future. One beautiful day, Prince Davu knelt and proposed to Eshe. "Will you marry me?" he asked, heart pounding. Eshe's eyes filled with joyful tears as she eagerly nodded. "Yes, Davu, yes!" she exclaimed, embracing him tightly. They held each other close, overwhelmed with love and happiness, knowing they were meant to be together forever. Their love continued to grow despite doubts from some in Eshe's village. Eshe remained steadfast, certain Davu was the one for her. However, one day Eshe arrived at the market but didn't see Davu. Panic set in as she learned he had left without a word. Heartbroken, Eshe sought comfort from her mother, crying as she hoped Davu would return to her. Encouraged by her words, Prince Davu gathered the courage to ask Eshe why she loved him despite his lack of wealth. Eshe smiled warmly and replied, "Davu, money isn't everything. I love you for who you are, not what you have. Together we'll work hard and build our future." Davu's heart filled with joy, knowing he had found his soulmate. During her time in Am, The queen showered Aisha with affection, treating her like her own daughter and ensuring she lacked nothing. As Prince Suda and Aisha prepared for their wedding day, the people of Paromo eagerly traveled to Amok for the grand celebration, filling the air with joy and happiness. The vows exchanged between Prince Suda and Aisha sealed their love before their families and friends. After the festivities, Aisha bid farewell to the people of Am and returned to Paromo with her husband, Prince Davu. The following day, celebrations continued at the king's palace, where villagers greeted them warmly. Over time, Prince Davu discovered Aisha's unfulfilled dream of attending university due to her circumstances. With love and support, he encouraged her to pursue higher education abroad. Aisha joyfully accepted the opportunity, and Prince Davu made all necessary arrangements. Aisha worked diligently at school, graduating with distinction and returning to Paromo as a qualified medical practitioner. Prince Davu beamed with pride at his wife's achievements, knowing she had worked hard to succeed. Together, they dedicated themselves to improving healthcare and education in Paromo. Aisha ensured her mother lived comfortably, never wanting for anything. The king and queen admired their son and daughter-in-law's love and dedication, wishing them well as they embarked on their journey together, confident they would continue positively impacting their community. During her stay in Am, the queen lavished Aisha with affection, ensuring she lacked for nothing and treating her like her own daughter. As their wedding day neared, the people of Paromo eagerly traveled to Amok for the grand celebration. Joy and happiness filled the air as Prince Suda and Aisha exchanged vows, sealing their love in front of family and friends. After the festivities, Aisha bid farewell to the people of Am and returned to Paromo with her husband Prince Davu. The following day, celebrations continued at the king's palace, where villagers cheered and wished them well. Over time, Prince Davu learned that Aisha had been unable to attend university due to her circumstances. With love and support, he encouraged her to pursue her dream of higher education. Aisha gladly accepted the opportunity, and Prince Davu made all necessary arrangements for her to study abroad. Aisha worked diligently at school, determined to succeed, and indeed she did, graduating with honors and returning to Paromo as a qualified medical practitioner. Prince Davu beamed with pride at his wife's achievements, knowing she had worked hard to reach her goals. Together, they joined hands to serve their people, using their skills and resources to improve healthcare and education in the kingdom. Aisha ensured her mother lived comfortably, never wanting for anything. The king and queen watched with pride and admiration, marveling at their son and daughter-in-law's love and dedication. They wished them well as they embarked on their journey together, knowing they would continue making a positive impact on others' lives. As time passed, Prince Davu and Aisha's love blossomed further, and they soon welcomed twins, a boy and a girl. The royal household rejoiced at their arrival. Aisha's mother came to the palace to care for her daughter and the newborns, a tradition known as Aug in their village. She showered them with love, helping Aisha adjust to motherhood and caring for the little ones. Meanwhile, children from their village gathered at the palace to celebrate with the royal family. They brought gifts and sang joyful songs, filling the air with laughter and happiness. "Congratulations, Prince Davu and Queen Aisha!" exclaimed the children, their faces glowing with excitement. Aisha and her husband were deeply thankful and happy as they held their precious babies. The villagers showed their love and support by sending gifts and well wishes to the royal family. laughter and celebration echoed through the palace as they welcomed the newest members of their community. And so, the people of Poromo celebrated the arrival of the new joy in their midst. Love and happiness continued to flourish in Poromo as Prince Davu and Aisha's family grew and prospered. Over the years, the twins thrived in an environment of love and care, guided by their parents' wisdom and kindness. Though this tale had reached its conclusion, the legacy of Prince Davu and Aisha's enduring love would forever live on in the hearts of the people of Poromo. The story of Prince Davu and Aisha imparts lessons about love, honesty, and perseverance. Firstly, it teaches us that love transcends all boundaries. Despite their different backgrounds, Prince Davu and Aisha found true happiness together because of their deep love for each other. Their respective social statuses did not matter in the face of their affection. Secondly, honesty is crucial in any relationship. When Prince Davu initially misled Aisha about his identity, it caused pain and confusion. However, he recognized his mistake, apologized sincerely, and committed to honesty thereafter. Aisha forgave him because she saw his genuine remorse and determination to mend his ways. Lastly, perseverance yields rewards. Despite challenges, Prince Davu and Aisha never gave up on each other. They worked diligently to overcome obstacles and forge a life filled with love and joy together.